What's up, folks? So going through using your Voodoo Floss across your hand, wrist, and forearm. I want to preface this. I say doing it on your hand. It does go around the hand. It does not apply pressure on the hand, and it doesn't apply pressure directly on the wrist itself. That's extraordinarily uncomfortable. It can become painful, bad pain. This stuff is uncomfortable to use. It can be painful to use if used right, but there's borders here. We don't want it to be the point of it's crushing your skeleton, because that just feels god-awful. You'll know what I mean if you do it wrong. But basically where I start off is I lay it, remember it's always the back of it going towards the skin. I lay it here across my palm. I can use my thumb to help hold that in place. And I'm gonna do an initial little anchor strip where it's just loosely but snugly around the wrist. So it's going around the wrist. I'm gonna still hold on to that, that'll be important. Make it snug across the wrist. Do a half width overlap going up. So half the width covers the previous loop. Once I'm an inch or so above the wrist, then I start pulling it tight across the top, loose across the bottom. So it's nice and soft on the bottom, it's not really tight. And as I roll across the top, I pull it, so it's like pulled, it's tight, just across the top, and then let it go slack as I cross the bottom of the forearm. I keep that going. It takes practice to get that right, but you'll get the hang of it, especially if you have a good quality compression floss, Voodoo Floss. Now, if you put this on too tight around your wrist, you will feel an ungodly pain that feels like your skeleton is being warped, because it is. There's lots of little bones in there and in your hands. They do not like being compressed like this. So I would actually come to the very end, make the last loop a little bit slack so that as I come to the end, I can very loosely just pull that up and tuck it in. And that'll be a lot easier to bring out as well once you're done. And then it's going to be 2 minutes. Set the timer, move your elbow around, move your hand around, try to grab something, just move around. You'll notice the color discoloration happening, which is always fun. For 2 minutes for that, then 2 minutes off, back and forth. You can go back and forth between the arms or between the same arm. So great when you have either that elbow pain, forearm pain, finger and wrist pain. Even though you're not getting directly on the fingers, it'll help to flush out a lot of the inflammation. And that's also how I prefer to take it off, where I just get reversely wound across your fingers like that, and then easy to take off and re-roll. And then you can see how the blood rushes back in, you feel a lot of warmth, you'll see the color change, and just keep it moving. Really get the circulation flowing through. So if you have any swelling, excess inflammation going on inside your fingers, hands, wrist, forearm, elbow, even up into your upper arm, it's gonna help to flush that out, so that you heal much more effectively, get a lot more range of motion. So if things like press-ups are hurting your wrist, there you go. If you suffer with chronic pain, chronic injuries, athletic injuries, I have got you covered. My name is Ethan Hammond, and I am a strength and rehab specialist. I work with people who want to return to sport and fitness, but feel that they can't because of pain and injuries. I've helped people with conditions such as lower back pain, ACL tears, shin splints, neck pain and chronic headaches, and so many more things. Now, a lot of you will be going through things like this, like what I just listed above, and you're saying that you cannot train anymore. Bullshit. You have got to train, and you've got to train right. Train or complain, that is the way this works. Now, I work in person in Southampton, England, but I have online services as well if you're a bit further out. And I also offer free consultations to get you started with a free game plan and strategy for getting out of pain. All you have to do is to send me a text or a WhatsApp message to 07 305 231 339, and I will personally get back to you in the next 24 hours to get you started on the road to proper recovery. If you are serious about leveling up and making real change, this is how you start.